Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna talk about the Sumerian civilization. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell to get our newest videos. The Sumerian civilization originated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, that is, in the southeastern part of present-day Iraq, which is known as Mesopotamia. Historical sources indicate that the Sumerian civilization is the first civilization in the world, as it began in 3500 BC and developed and remained so until the year 2000 BC. As for its extension, it began from the Taurus Mountains to the Zagros Mountains in Iran, and from the Arabian Gulf to the Mediterranean Sea, and then blended with the civilization of the Assyrians and Babylonians. Its maximum expansion was before the 15th century BC by the king of the city of Adab Lujalmond. The city of Sumer was named in recognition of the efforts and achievements of the Sumerian people. It can be argued that the establishment of any civilization is based on a combination of political, economic, and social factors. With regard to the Sumerian civilization, the factors for its political establishment include the following. The desire of the rulers to obtain the title of king led to the unification of the country under one leadership. Increased need to use the irrigation network between neighboring cities. The growth of cities and their attempt to avoid conflict among themselves, especially in the early stages of their inception. Working with the principle of political and administrative decentralization in governance and administration systems. Among the economic factors that helped the prosperity of the Sumerian civilization are the following. High productivity of land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. High agricultural productivity due to the great exploitation of the irrigation network to provide a permanent source of irrigation for agricultural fields. The invention of the wheel that greatly helped the domestication of animals, plowing the land and transportation between neighboring cities. Expansion of trade on land and sea to the city of Sumer. The Sumerians' great interest in industry, the development of their skills, craftsmanship, and prowess in quarrying and metal casting. Many social factors have also contributed to the development of Sumerian civilization, including the emergence of different social classes, namely the priests who manage the temple property, the class of workers who own crafts, the class of wage earners, the class of slaves working in the service of the temple, and finally the class of nobility who own agricultural land. Good management of temple properties in the development of civilization in social terms. The most important characteristics of the Sumerian civilization. Language and literature. The Sumerian language is the oldest recorded language in history, as its archaeological records first appeared before 3100 BC, and the Samaritan writing used in pictorial tablets appeared at a time dating back to 400 BC. The language used in Mesopotamia survived for another 2,000 years before being replaced by Akkadian, and the Sumerian language remains one of the most important cultural achievements of the Sumerians. The laws written in the Sumerian language regarding agriculture, cattle breeding and population preparation were also discovered, and it is the oldest records in the world, dating back to 2400 BC. She was also interested in literary works, as a number of literary records belonging to her were discovered. Architecture and arts. The foundations of architecture date back to the Sumerian civilization, as religious structures dating back to 3400 BC have been found, and their houses, which were built of mud bricks or marshes, are characterized by their flat roofs and arched entrances. Clay was also mainly used to decorate temples, and metal casting was used in sculpture, and elaborate construction, such as clay decoration, mosaics, huge stone columns, and sophisticated wall paintings revealed the technical development of society. And stepped temples similar to the pyramids, or what is known as ziggurats, appeared, whose shapes were either circular or square, and did not contain internal rooms, and reached a height of 170 feet, and contained gardens and hanging terraces, of which the Gardens of Babylon are an example. Science. The Sumerians were known for their medicinal system based on herbs and magic. They also knew the processes of removing chemicals from natural substances. And it is believed that they had knowledge of anatomy, as surgical instruments were found at archaeological sites. They also harnessed the waters of the Tigris and Euphrates to cultivate, and invented irrigation. And the greatest invention of the Sumerians in the field of hydraulic engineering was a system of trenches created to control floods. And their achievements in engineering and architecture indicate the development of their understanding of mathematics. And the preservation of modern time used until our time is 60 seconds, and the hour is 60 minutes to the Sumerians. Culture. Schools were common in Sumerian culture, and are the world's first effort to transfer knowledge in order to maintain a society that works and builds itself. Many written Sumerian records have been found. But the Sumerians were famous for their epic poetry that influenced later cultures in Greece, Rome, and sections of the Bible, most notably the story of the Great Flood, the Garden of Eden, and the Tower of Babel. And the Sumerians were also famous for music, as the Sumerian hymn is the oldest musical song in the world. Religion. Religion was fully integrated into people's lives and informed the government and social structure in the Sumerian civilization, as the Sumerians believed that gods and humans worked together to prevent chaos in the world. And the Samaritan work known as Genesis is the oldest version of the Great Flood story, which was later retold with the Sumerians' concept of religion and sovereignty. First city. Although modern-day archaeology has proven that Uruk is the oldest city in Mesopotamia, the Sumerians believed that the first city in the world was Eridu, headed by Enki, the god of wisdom and water. And the creation of Eridu by Enki was a golden age where it can be compared to the biblical city of Aden as the home of the gods and the birthplace of the rules governing civilization. Facts about the Sumerian civilization. The population of the largest city of the Sumerian civilization reached 80,000 at the height of the prosperity of the Sumerian civilization. The list of Sumerian rulers includes one woman, the only woman who ruled in Kish sometime around 2500 BC, and is credited with establishing the foundations of Kish. Sumerian cities were famous for their perpetual war among themselves. Cuneiform has been used for more than 300 years. The Sumerians were well-known traveling merchants. Sumerian civilization was lost from history until the 19th century. Thanks for watching, and stay connected for more.